Okay, so I'm in Scotland. Come and have a look. Yeah, so Scotland, cute little houses, rolling hills, and absolutely no sunshine. I'm in Scotland because my father almost died twice. I've been here for about a week. No, over a week now. This is the thing about these kind of situations. You have a lot of time to reflect because, yeah, the normal day-to-day hustle and bustle of life is kind of left behind. You can't go to the hospital too much, so you get a lot of time to think. And I don't like thinking at the best of times, so doing this, making a video, is a little bit cathartic and a little bit of distraction and a little bit of me trying to find something useful to do. I have zero plans of what I'm going to talk about. I'm just probably going to mumble on a little bit. Okay, here's maybe a run of show. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what happened to my dad, because that's what I've been reflecting about. Then I picked up a couple of things. Maybe I'll show you those, or I will show you those. And what else? Maybe that will be enough. Time's marching on. Maybe that's good enough. A lot of maybes, but there's been a lot of maybes over the last few days. Right, okay. What happened was this. He had a fall, and I guess he hit his head. Nobody will really know. But then he decided to take a nap outside for 20 hours overnight on so far the coldest night of the year. There was apparently people were scraping frost off their windscreens. How he made it, how he survived, because he wasn't found till I think midday the next day, is absolutely beyond me. But yeah, that's very, very bad for your health in a lot of different ways. But when I told my mum, the first thing she said is, he's going to be fine. He's a tough old bugger. And she was right. She was genuinely right. He is going to be fine. It was touch and go there for a while. That's why I just stepped in a plane immediately and came home. That's what the doctors told me I should do. Responded very well to the medication. And apart from one hiccup a few days later, everything is looking good. Everything is looking bright. Long road to recovery for sure. But yeah, it's things are the best way they could possibly be given the certain circumstances that they are. And honestly, he must have some sort of guardian angel looking over him. The chances of him being found were very, very remote. Actually, almost zero. He lives in the middle of nowhere, and people aren't exactly passing by. They'd have found him eventually, but probably too late. But ironically, he had a hospital appointment, and his cousin was coming over to give him a lift, and she found him. And so, yeah, she literally saved his life. But anyway, that's that. I'll add one more thing to this, and I don't think this is specific to the UK. I know definitely in Germany there's such a thing, and I guess wherever you are in the world, there's probably something similar. This is talking to the parents who have kids, get all the paperwork done that you need to. In particular, something like a power of attorney. So the kids have got the possibility to act on your behalf if you're a little bit incapacitated. If you don't have that, things become much more complicated. That's the least thing that you should do. And I've been learning this over the last few days. So yeah, that's lesson learned. And also, don't take a nap outside overnight in minus temperatures. Who knew it was possible to get frostbite in Scotland in September? But all that aside, I mean, like, what happened and all the rest of it's not really that important. But as I said, you've got a lot of time during these circumstances to reflect on the person that you maybe came very, very close. Very close. Very close to not having in your life anymore. And yes, I've been thinking about that the last few days. And the best way I can put it is that he was an excellent father and also an excellent dad. I see these two things as exclusive. And the ability that he had to bridge these 2 points. So a dad is somebody who you just have fun with. Yeah, he's the guy that just, like, it's silly, you're playing ball with, you're just like getting up to mischief, all of these things. And the father is the one that has to be like a little bit strict and a little bit guiding. And I've been giving a lot of thought to that myself as a new father, and how to navigate that. And I never really discussed it with him too much for some strange reason. There is still that sort of father-son dynamic between the two of us, which I appreciate and I wouldn't change, but still it leaves, it leaves moments or subjects that you sadly tend not to touch on, which is going to have to change. But yeah, the guy just instinctually knew how to do that. I mean, yes, he was a child psychologist, but I think it was more of an instinctual understanding of how to be a parent rather than rather than a learned thing. He never brought his work home, or he never tried to psychologize me in any way. Not that I know of, though. Where am I going with all this? I don't really know. It's just interesting that he could do all this while still maintaining the fact that we don't really have too much in common. What I mean by that is there wasn't really common interests or common activities that he could reach me with. There wasn't. He didn't try to force me like, okay, you're going to be into football. He fucking hated football, but nothing like that. And yeah, just thinking about it, we missed these commonalities. I mean, the man could not care less what he puts on. He's of the opinion that if he's not going to get arrested, it doesn't matter what he's wearing. But all through my life, he supported and indulged me in these interests, even though he couldn't see any point behind it. And without that support and indulgence, then I think it would have been a lot harder for me to navigate my way to a career that I didn't study for, didn't really intend to be in, but it gave me a bit of confidence gave me the confidence and the space to explore this. I don't know why I'm telling you guys all this. I mean, you're here for something about jeans and clothing and hopefully a bit of a laugh. And I'm depressing you. I must be. Right, so instead of talking about that, let's talk about some recent pickups. They're not even that recent pickups. I bought them when I was here back in March, and they arrived too late for me to take home, so I'm just getting them now. So they've been lying in my mum's cupboard for months, which is fine because they're kind of autumn wintry things, so I only need them now. Oh, and interesting side note, here's a mirror that I made as a project in high school. I didn't know that my mum had kept it. I don't even know where that was. And it's not exactly little, so I don't know how I'd have missed it. Okay, I don't really know where to start. Actually, no, I do know where to start, because that gives me a chance to discuss with you guys something that's been on my mind the last few days. And I want to know what you guys think about it. And if I'd been a little bit better prepared, I would have it here. And do I? No, it's going to be better without the jumper. Did I just turn that off? The light's still on, so I guess not. And the jacket is over here. Right, okay. This is a car coat. It's a car coat by my friends over at Simmons Built. It is made of an absolutely stunning, I think it's Italian horsehide, and it's just got so many intricate, really beautiful details. But that's not the point that I want to make here. This isn't a product review for this jacket. The point I want to make here is that this is not my style at all. And that's really, really important. I love it. There's something that draws me to it, definitely. But I'm not particularly comfortable in it yet. And this comes back to a conversation I was having with Calgary, where he was talking about, I think he was talking about blazers and how he's seeing it, and he thinks they're going to have their moment quite soon, and I kind of agree with that. But it's like, yeah, I don't particularly dig them, but there's something about them that I'm kind of attracted to. And I think that listening to that little voice is very, very important, because about a year ago, I tried another cargo that fits me absolutely perfect. I think it was was it Addict Clothes or maybe Double Helix. Anyway, they had it at work, a Bergen Shield. And I asked somebody who I very much respect his style, and he's got amazing style. I just asked for his opinion. It's like, yeah, okay. I mean, it fits you well, but it doesn't fit you well. Like with your style, I don't really see it working. And so I left it. But then I think a week or so later, that didn't sit with me right, because the whole point about, well, certainly the whole point for me about this is exploring and evolving and having as much fun as possible. And I could have had a lot of fun with that jacket. There was something that drew me to it. And I think there was a little bit of discomfort within that, which I think is also very important. I think in any journey whatsoever, you should experience a little bit of discomfort. Otherwise, you're just not going to grow. And certainly in the sphere, the world that I inhabit and the world that I think all of us enjoy and touch, I think we've got to push ourselves a little bit. Otherwise, we all stay exactly the same, and there's no individuality, there's no personal style that comes out of that. We're just all like democratic little clones of each other, which, yeah, is unfortunately kind of happening anyway. But yeah, that's the point that I want to make with this. This requires a little bit of experimentation, a little bit of a punt. I mean, who knows? Maybe in 6 months I'll be like, you know what? That didn't really work out for me, so I just move it along. There's no sentiment attached to that. So yeah, that's just what I wanted to say with this. I love it. I really, really do. I'm really looking forward to wearing this, seeing how it wears in. I'm looking forward to seeing how I can incorporate it into my style and how it can evolve my style along with that. So yeah, that's the whole point about this. The next thing that I picked up, there's not so much of a philosophy behind it. Yeah, okay, so why not? Let's have a look at a couple of the details on this. Just got this the other day, so I've not really had too much time to really dive into the intricate details, but I mean, like, just the details around the cuff here, absolutely stunning. And the leather itself, just look at that. Just look. Smooth and supple, and it's got such a nice color to it. I'm not too sure if the camera is doing that justice, to be honest. The quality of the work, like all Simmons built stuff, is just outstanding. Outstanding. I mean, you can't find any flaw in this, and they're all like that. It's, yeah. Either way, what else is there? There's the pockets that have got this nice kind of asymmetrical shape to them. I think it works on either side. If you don't like that, they can be tucked away like this for a bit of a cleaner look. But yeah, I like that. Otherwise, there's just too much uninterrupted leather. Maybe you're into that. Don't judge. As I mentioned, it's got buttons, doesn't have a zipper. What else? Well, okay, I don't have a tripod with me. That's the problem. So bear with me. It's got this really nice kind of widespread collar. Could pop it up, I guess. I don't really know how that looks. I'll have a look later. The length is pretty great, way longer than any other leather jacket I've had before, so that's going to be interesting to play with proportions, play with layering. It's going to give me a lot more opportunities to experiment, so yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And more than that, it's got really nice green lining, and it's got some pockets, really big pockets actually, some huge pockets. Could put an iPad in there. I won't, but I could. And the best thing is, which isn't on my other one, is that it's got the smooth kind of satiny fabric on the arms. So you just slip in nice. So yeah, that's the jacket. Now I'm going to take it off because I'm going to show you the next thing. Next thing is these here boots by the Rolling Dub Trio. Is it their Rolling Dub Trio or just Rolling Dub Trio? They're Rolling Dub Trio. I need the phone, because that's the only way I can see what I'm doing. So I've been wanting a pair of side zip boots for a very, very long time. I did have my eye on a pair of the Vibergs, but they are just impossible to find. Like, I don't know if they're producing them anymore. Anyway, couldn't get hold of a pair of those, plus they're about $1,000, euros, pounds, whatever. Having said that, these are as well new. Didn't buy them new. I hardly ever buy anything new. Yeah, so I picked these up on Marked, which is a UK-based reseller of all the stuff that we love. I can really recommend it. Check it out. Maybe I'll leave a link down below. I even believe this was like a guest seller. They get guest sellers every so often. This was Adam Goldberg's boots. The quality of these Rolling Dub Trio boots is astonishing. Really, really astonishing. They are 360 Goodyear welted. I think that they're horsehide. The leather is soft and supple. The outer sole is some sort of composite rubber. It's got a steel bit at the front of the bottom of the sole, which I don't like very much actually because it's going to scratch up my floors. So I might be taking that off, but I have to ask a cobbler about that. There was zero break-in on them. That might be because Adam had done all the breaking in and we've got the same kind of feet. Who knows? But yeah, delighted with these. Absolutely delighted with them. And I like that they're a bit more bulky than the Viberg ones. I now have some quite opposite of bulky. Not bulky, dainty. I've got some dainty shoes if I want to go for that. But for these, I wanted something with a bit more bulk. Presence. That's what I was looking for. Right, there was one or two more things that I wanted to share with you guys. But I just noticed the time and I've got to go into the hospital to visit said sick father. So I'm going to finish that off tomorrow or later, or maybe when I'm back in Berlin. I don't know. Let's see. Life's kind of a surprise at the moment. Okay, it's been about 1 week since I left you guys. I am back in Berlin. I'm back home. Dad is doing okay. He's still in hospital. He's been in hospital for quite a while, but he's doing okay though. I just, we had some drama on the way to the hospital. There was a car accident that I wasn't involved in, but I was the first one there. I'll tell you that story another time, because I didn't know cars could fly, but this one really could fly until it couldn't anymore, and it was the landing that was the problem actually. They need to work on that technology. Okay, right, where did I leave you last time? I think I was going to show you one final thing, and that one final thing is this here red canvas tote bag from Filson, which is very uninteresting actually. It's a tote bag. It's made of red canvas. It's got some leather handles. That's it. I mean, I got this for a fair price, I would say, on Marked, like I was saying before. If you were paying for this new, it's definitely not worth it. It's really not. In fact, any of the Filson stuff, full price, is not worth it. I mean, it's tough. It's really tough. And what it is going to be very good for is putting these here boots in. Now, you might be wondering why I'm going to be putting these here boots into this red canvas tote bag. Well, the thing is, where do I start with this? Okay, some friends of mine who run the Red Wing shoe store over in Mitte in Berlin, they're doing a very, very cool thing. Actually, friends of mine and my boss, because they kind of are the same company. Either way, right. They're doing a very, very cool thing over in the Red Wing shoe store here in Berlin, where they're going to sew a label into your boots, and it's called Will Your Wings. So, which is hard to say. Anyway, the idea is that you sew this label into your boots, you put your name on, you put the name of the person that's going to get your boots eventually, and it's a nice way to make those boots a little bit more personal and part of your personal journey. And also it attests to the fact that Red Wings, if you take care of them, will really last forever. So yeah, I'm going to use this pair of boots. And I'm going to use this pair of boots because this ties back to my father. See, as I said previously, like one of the things that astonishes me that my father and I are so close is that we have zero in common. But when he was in Berlin once, I wanted to kind of like just bring him into this world, just like do something so he could understand why I'm so enthusiastic about all this stuff. So I wanted to buy him a pair of Red Wing boots. We went along to the store, they did an amazing job, they measured his feet, they let him try on a bunch of models, all of this, exactly the service that you imagine you're going to get from a Red Wing shoe store. So he got a pair of boots, I think it was the blacksmiths maybe? Beautiful pair of boots that he never wore, but either way. When we were there, I spotted this pair of Pecos, which was the collab Pecos with Eat Dust. And I mean, they're beautiful. I had my eye on them for a long time. But I never ever thought I'd get a pair in my size, because I think I've got the most common Red Wing size, a 43. But it just so happened I mentioned it to the person that was helping us out. And they're like, oh, I think we got a return on a pair of 43s. Do you want to try them? Yes, I do want to try them. And so it ended up that I bought my dad his Red Wings and he bought me these Red Wings. So the sentimental value in this pair of boots is massive. So these are the ones that I want to have this label sewn into, and I can pass it on to my daughter, on to Carly. Whether she ever is going to fit into them, I certainly hope not. A girl with size 43 feet, she's going to find it hard to find shoes. But it's nice. It spans that generation. So yeah, that is what I'm going to do with these. And you guys are going to come with me and see all of that, because I think it's a nice way to round out the video. So here's the store. There was a really good turnout, really busy, plenty of folk. And here's pretty much the crux of the idea. They have a pair of Red Wing boots in the archive that was passed down from a father to a son, so it kind of continues the lineage. There's the little label that gets sewn into the boots, and then you put your name and the person that you want to hand the boots to, you put that down below. And then you get this little certificate as well that goes along with it. So then, it was my turn. Here's all the blank labels, a little bit of glue to make things a bit easier, and then a big chunky sewing machine for the big chunky leather. And there it is. I'm all ready to wool my wings. And interestingly, when I told my wife about this, she told me to leave the bottom part blank because, and I quote, "you never know." And my buddy Israel, he got his done as well. And this is Daniel, being Daniel. But here he is, also being Daniel and helping out customers. And another cool thing is we got a first look at the upcoming homage boot to Steve McQueen, because Steve McQueen was known for his love of Red Wings and riding motorcycles in Red Wings. And then I spotted these, and you've got to admit, this is much more my thing. But then it was time for me to head off, because